Hello, it's Leah from Leah's Lounge. How are my Lagoon Loungers? I hope you all are doing well. Today, we're going to answer the question of how did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project? So, let's get started. Disclaimer, so this video is not boring. This is actually the last video I ended up filming, so just not to make it boring, we're gonna talk about how it all ties into Sonic in some way, shape, or form, because I don't know if you guys can tell. A girl really likes Sonic. Jumping right in, we're gonna talk about what equipment we used for the actual filming of our opening sequence. We used my iPhone 11 because my team did not have our hands on an actual camera. Really sad, but it ended up coming out very well. We ended up using my phone. The quality is not that great, but we used my phone because our editor's phone was completely smashed in the back. Her camera was not cute. And our cameraman's phone was much older than mine. So we just settled on mine, and it ended up actually being pretty good. So with our camera, we obviously need to get the right angles and shots, movements, all of that. So we ended up using different props around the house to really just help us in the long run. We used a, it looks like a box mover, one of those thingies to get a straight like shot of it running. We used other actors to help us film this sequence. We used chairs, pretty much anything we can get our hands on to really just enhance our filming. How this ties into Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. We're going to be referencing Sonic Prime. Amazing, amazing show. So, you see in the film that all the emeralds ended up exploding, and there's different worlds that Sonic has to go to find these emeralds. Shadow's stuck in the abyss, I'd say, with his green Chaos Emerald. Sonic ends up in New York City, where they use all this technology and cameras and drones and tablets to keep an eye on all the residents that live there. And it's pretty scary, and none of that happens in the other world. This world is controlled by Eggman, and it's just overall used a lot with high quality technology, and they also use Sonic in experiments with this technology and spy on him later on in the series. Enough of that. Sorry, my audience member Missy, you may know her from one of our last videos. Ignoring that, so the app we used for editing was CapCut. Thank you, CapCut, love you. It ended up being pretty well. Filters were easy to find. The text was easy to use. Just pretty much, it was a nice experience to use CapCut. Everything went smoothly with editing. And we used actually different sounds and different elements edited in our film to enhance it. For example, when you see the camera turning from the window over to Lucy, it's playing Volcano Girls on the Siri home. You see how it fades into it. We ate up with that one because, hello? If we didn't have this technology, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we ended up getting a really good scene with our editing techniques. Talking more about technology, featuring Sonic. Sonic ends up meeting Tails, but his name's not Tails anymore, it's Nine, because it's a different alternative universe. And Nine crafts him these really cool little tokens that attach to his shoes and stuff, so he is able to regain his speed, because in this world his speed's taken away because of all the electricity that they're to them. So Nine makes him these cool inventions, makes him new gloves, new shoes, and they're ready to rock and roll. They end up becoming friends, but Nine has something up his sleeve, which is something crazy. Moving on. We obviously had to do our research on the 4 elements and how we can combine them together as one to create a more organized, calm atmosphere for our work environment as well as our team to feel comfortable. We did a lot of research. We did a lot of background research on cults, religion, all of that. We really focused on Catholicism, Christianity. In our blogs, we do have the ones we really did focus on, and in my editor's blog, or blog, sorry, not vlog, she talks about the main cult that we got this inspiration off of. So we did do a lot of research on cults, a lot of research on horror, the camera angles and shots that we would need to use to really enhance our horror film. We also did a lot of research on color theory and just colors that would work in our film, because obviously it's a horror film. We want to make the best horror film we can for our audience so they can be drawn in and they pay attention to it like they're glued to the screen. So yeah, it creates representation by just overall using each other and just feeding off of one another to enhance their own element. The camera angles and shots obviously tie in with the missing scene and editing and the sound, because obviously the atmosphere is going to need a certain sound. So they all just feed together to create the type of atmosphere and living that we would want for our film. So yeah, back to Sonic. Last thing about Sonic. All this technology in this world ends up leading Sonic to be chased and hunted down because of the energy he has, because he's obviously the fastest organism in this universe of Sonic. And he works together with Shadow, though him and Shadow are not friends in any way. He works together with them to really just defeat Nine, because Nine ends up turning on them, because Nine's obviously a lonely guy. So he takes over this one world and he creates robots and all this stuff to defeat Sonic, but in the end he realizes that it's wrong. And honestly, I wish there was more to the series, but you guys should definitely go check it out. I absolutely loved it. That's all I can say without really spoiling all of it, but please go check it out. So let's get back to it. Hey, so as we managed all these technologies and we use them in all different ways, I feel like it really helped us in the long run. We had no idea what we were doing until we did our research. We learned more in class, and it ended up coming out pretty well. And I'd say communication played a huge factor in our filming process. We had not many retakes, but we did communicate a lot with each other to make sure that we are on the same terms and we agree on what is going to be used for our project. And overall, it created our final product, which was good, using all these different technologies. Even though we didn't have the most advanced, most expensive, most yada yada materials, we made it work with what we had and what was in our budget, and that's all that matters. There's nothing really left to discuss here. I feel like I hit all the points. So yeah, we're gonna hit it with an outro. Boom. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. It's Leah signing out. Peace.